It's loading. Then I'll this one there.
So it's going to be streaming to where? How is it your page?
It's YouTube, so you should see it. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's YouTube. Yeah. Yes. It's a little bit delayed. Okay. Turn this one down.
Is your page called Be Fit?
No, it's
Or
Body Strong Vibes.
okay.
Yeah. So it's a little bit delayed on the YouTube, so it goes a little bit slower. I'm putting this one right now in it. Housekeeping, love it. Yes, love it. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Okay, I think I got it, and I'll put this one here too. So, like I said, it goes a little bit with delay with the live streaming, and go from there. That's kind of how it is. Just making sure it shows up here in the comments. It's always fascinating how this works, even with delay a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Setups. Okay. Think I'm all good. Yes. Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to figure out how to do the audio to not give you background noise. So I guess I will mute myself at some point to just like not hop in and out just in case. But anyways, we're live on YouTube, streaming on YouTube for full moon in Leo, January 25th, 2024. So excited to be here, putting myself out there. Katya, Body Strong Vibes, and Tracy. She'll introduce herself in just a second. Very excited to put ourselves out there. The message is clear. It's safe to be seen. Show your power. Give yourself the power. Reclaim yourself. Be the divine feminine that you are. And that's why we're doing this right now. It's always scary to put yourself out there. So starting there, the human factor is there. There's a lot of mental blocks to go through, but the more you align yourself with the vision, the call, the heart, you just decide to do this. So welcome to Full Moon uh, with myself, Katya, Tracy. So I'll let Tracy introduce herself, then we're just going to walk through the things that we have prepared for you today, or whatever comes through, right?
Yeah, we never know what comes through, so that's the fun part. But
Yes.
I'm Tracy, and I'm founder of Root Source Health and Wellness, and I am also an energy worker. So here to bring you messages from the full moon in Leo. Got lots to share. So we've got information on herbal information, about element information, about animal energy, got all kinds of stuff going on. So, and much more. So,
Oh, awesome. That's great. And we'll be a little bit of delay in the streaming world. So if you hear ourselves moving slowly, that's how streaming works. So be patient with us. We have a plan in mind, and just let everything else to co-create with us. I'm very excited to really ground this on full moon and Leo. I love Leo energy. It's the opposite of what I am, and I'm Aquarius. So the fire is there, I'm the air, so it's always a great combination. And it kind of, the fire always run through my life till now, but from all different aspects. And what we're doing here today is really connecting, creating the safe, sacred space. Tracy mentioned she's an energy practitioner. Besides all other gifts that she has, myself included, we will actually create the healing circle for you and open up the circle with some Reiki meditation. And we are both Reiki practitioners, and I'm excited that Tracy acquires some new skills of holy fire. So if she wants to bring that into the space, please, more than welcome to enjoy this energy. Like I said, we speak through the heart, whatever comes through, and go from there, because it's all about expressing ourselves and really sharing our voice. So for Reiki meditation, Tracy, I know you asked me how we do this and how we open. I guess I will do one Reiki meditation that I really enjoy, that I did with a lot of clients, long distance. It's a visualization meditation, because I think it's really important for us to ground our energy and clear our mind. As we already clear our space, including yourself, you clear your physical space. I did it myself. Today I didn't feel like I want to sage or do Palo Santo. I actually use some sprays, because it's very humid outside. We're in North Carolina, so it's very humid. So this is the best way to go right now. And I also have the fire element. So when you go to discuss the fire, I can spread that in to kind of bring that into the space as we connect virtually. But I use just a sage, thyme, and frankincense, just an enhanced spray, just to kind of cleanse the space. I'll do that again. So if you're not into smokes, fumes, you can always use sprays. They're very safe, especially for your pets. And as we're going into it, we clean our space. We'll clear and connect with our heart and mind. And I will ask you to just kind of stay still when you see this video. You can sit down, you can lay down, whatever works for you. I want you to close your eyes, kind of like relax your body, and really, instead of sitting nice and tall, or have a spine as aligned as you can, shoulders back and down, because we have a tendency to be very tense in our upper chops. So really kind of like settling everything else, and really also sinking in our hips. So if that's the sitting position, if you're in a lotus position on the floor, if you are on the pillow against the wall, if you're laying down on the couch, whatever works for you, that is the position that you're good into, getting into a meditation style. So we're doing Reiki meditation, and this is one of my favorites. As I'm opening the space, and I invite Tracy to kind of hold the Reiki to the screen, and we'll just bring our energy in for you to connect, to give you some healing, to give you some clearing, to give you some relaxation, and also empower you into your divine feminine in 2024. And we'll talk about this later. So continue to kind of listen to us, because there are different cool things that we want to bring up to you, and what is going on in 2024 for us collectively, and for us females specifically. So what I'll ask you as you sit, find your space, you kind of get settled with your breath. Whatever breathe technique you do, breath technique you do, if you inhale for 3, exhale for 5, if you do the 4 tempo, whatever that is, or just concentrating on your belly and breathing through the belly, so expanding your belly as much as you can. When you exhale, inhaling, really sucking into the tailbone all the way to the spine. So the more you concentrate on your belly, you really bring that oxygen, and you activate the life force within you, and create that flow of upwards and downwards, which is really important to re-energize, also connect your heart space with your mind, and align all the chakras. So this is pretty much what you'll do. You'll just kind of focus on your breath through your belly. You'll sit in a comfortable position, and we'll close our eyes. As we're closing our eyes, I'll hold my hands against the screen. I'll invite Tracy to do that the same. And we will start the visual guided meditation. Hopefully you'll enjoy Possibly you heard it before. That's awesome. The more you practice, the more you get comfortable to your auric field. You understand how you can align and really shift yourself in those moments of anxiety, depression, struggles, or just mental spirals. So that's that. So as I'm closing my eyes, really concentrating on that breath, inhaling and exhaling out, inhaling and exhaling out. I'm sending some Reiki to you. So I'll extend my palms out to the screen. So you will see me in that position as I am sharing the Reiki with you with the Reiki Usui, the Japanese traditional style. That's the one that I was educated in and trained to. So I'm excited to share that vibration with you. So as you inhale and exhale, just kind of concentrating on your breath right now. Inhale deeply, exhale through your mouth if that makes it easier for you. Inhale deeply, exhale through your mouth. Inhale deeply, exhale through your mouth. I want you to imagine a ball of light, a white light. That ball of light is all around you. You are engulfed in the white ball of light. As you inhale and exhale, you feel the whiteness all around you. You feel light, you feel comfortable, and you feel cozy. You inhale and exhale out. As you sit in another 3 deep breaths, feeling the white light taking you over as you are in this amazing white ball of light. You see and feel how the white ball of light is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And it becomes like a small ball right in front of your palms. As the ball is very tiny and is still white, it travels up and it sits right above your head in the crown chakra location. It feels like a fluffy cloud. It's white, it's warm, it's cozy. You feel that heat emanating from your head down. Then the white ball of light starts rotating clockwise. Okay, inhaling and exhaling out. As it starts rotating clockwise, it becomes a little bit heavier, so it travels down through your prana, your line, your chakra systems, and is going down slowly to your third eye or brown chakra. And sits there for a little bit. Just feel it spinning clockwise, white, fluffy ball. Kind of notice and observe if you have any imagery, how you feel about it. Do you feel light? Do you have any headaches? Just notice, observe. Don't give it too much thought. Just notice. As you're taking another inhale and exhale out, the beautiful white ball is traveling down, is going to your throat chakra. As it goes to your throat chakra, it's clearing, cleaning, giving you an amazing, pure voice back to you. Inhaling, exhaling out. It's spinning clockwise. It becomes faster and faster, removing any blockages that arrives within, like a beautiful white ball vacuum. Again, notice how you feel, any thoughts coming out. Do you feel any tension or pressure around your throat? Any heat sensation? As you feel all that, and as the heat is cooling off, the ball is getting heavier, it's moving down to the higher heart chakra, which is between your heart chakra and throat chakra. Slowly sitting there for a second is dropping down to the heart chakra. And feel the warmth in your chest, envelope you. Take a deep breath, inhale and exhale out. Do you feel warmth? Do you feel loved? How do you feel today? Did you give attention to your heart today? Have you lived your day with open heart? Let your heart be open. As the white ball activates and opens up your heart chakra, it slowly moves down to your solar plexus, the willpower, the will hold. Feel that warmth right below our chest and the gut area. Spins clockwise, cleaning anything, clearing, relaxing. As it get heavier, cleaning everything up like a wide ball vacuum is moving down to the sacral chakra, 2 inches below our belly button. Inhale and exhaling out. Just feel how it's clearing out. It really makes you feel really good in your belly area, all the heaviness. It's doing its thing as it spins clockwise. As you inhale and exhaling out, the white ball is moving to the root chakra, base chakra, sitting in your tailbone, really giving you the warm sensation, light sensation as you feel finally everything is just nice, warm, unified, flowing. As you feel the heat start gradually coming up from your base chakra, your pelvis and hips areas going up down your spine as the light white ball got bigger and bigger, cleaning every chakra. Now spinning faster and faster, and as it does, it propels itself back, going back through each chakra, all the way back to the crown chakra. And when it gets settled back on your head, on the top of your head, I want you to take 3 deep breaths. Really breathing through your belly, inhale and exhaling out. Inhale and exhaling out. Inhale and exhaling out. As you feel warm inside you, peace, your mind becomes more slow and its thought patterns, the wide ball of light, gets smaller and smaller and smaller and dissipates in a cloud. So the small cloud is lifted, and it just dissipates in the ether. Right now, you're tuned in with us in the sacred space of healing during the full moon in Leo, where your mind and heart are connected. You're grounding to the crystalline grid of Mother Gaia and ready to resonate with us, receive healing as you let your mind rest and you relax in the present moment with us. And so it is. And so it is. We'll share Reiki with you for your highest and best good today. And we'll invite our spirit guides, angels, archangels, ancestors, divine masters to be part of this beautiful sacred circle for the full moon in Leo. And so it is. Thank you. The circle is open and we are ready to start. Whew. Okay, done and done. Doing a little bit of a spray again, just to feel it feels good. Feels good to do that. So now I feel all present.
Lovely.
Yeah, this felt pretty good. For some reason, I got teared out, so that's interesting. Whew. It's always very the bodily sensations of energy coming through the life forces.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Very settled and very joyful. Let's say it.
Yes. Grateful.
Yes.
Grateful comes through as well.
Right.
So,
So I'll let you talk about full moon and Leo, get a little bit of astrology and fire element, and yeah, get us going. Bring the mind back to the present.
right.
Yes.
So, yeah, so we are in the season of Leo, well, for the moon anyway. And so, what does this signify, right? It's all about the heart energy. The lion is the representation of Leo. And of course, the lion is the defender of the essential self, right? So, what does the lion teach us? Teaches us about strength and courage so that we can live our full purpose and our destiny, right? So we have the Leo here, and it's interesting that Sekhmet came through for me just right before we came on. So that's the Egyptian lion goddess that came through. She's also the goddess of healing, and so how perfect for her to kind of make herself known. Um, but a message too that I think comes through with Leo is, to be gentle with yourself. This lion is can be very aggressive and very defending, but you also want to be tender with your inner self and your heart, because that's really where the focus goes, is to that inner heart and to that inner place where you can surrender to the divine, right? So for me this morning, the cards that I pulled was all about the unfolding rose and the heart that's opening, right? And so the symbolism is just all over the place. So you have the rose and the flame, which can relate to the element of fire, which is also Leo. And the rose also in herbalism is directly correlated with the fire element and the heart. It actually works with the cardiovascular system, and it treats heat, and it's all about inflammation. So, and the divine feminine, how perfect and aligned. So, one of the last videos we did had to do with Leo. It was all about motherwort, and I've really felt the mothering, the mother. Uh, Reflection and inspiration with that moon, but this one is all about the rose. And so you can take rose internally, you can do external oils and things like that as well, but you can take it internally. And so I just want to talk about the rose, and I'll show you the beautiful cards that came through first, because they're just magical and beautiful. So the pink rose of Lady Nada came through, and she's just
Yeah,
there
and
in
sometimes
all
if you hold, yeah, oh, that's perfect right there. Yeah, and if you want to share like the oracle cards that you are pulling from, and we're doing oracle cards, so we like visuals. It opens your intuition, so that's what Tracy has to share. Lady Nada.
And there was also the ever unfolding rose that came out as well. And that's from
That's
the
so
Rebecca Campbell's
Campbell.
card. Um,
Is that the Starseed oracle? I forgot which.
yes. I'll have to look at the
Can you
box, but
hold that up again? The one with the temple, the last one that you had, is just so significant. And it's so significant for us to start the year 2024 with this first full moon. You see, we have a temple over there. We are talking about your temple is your body, and we
Mhm.
have the rose unfolding there. So
And it
very
says
significant.
cracked open, it's happening for you, not to you. So we need to remember that as well. And this beautiful card, the Cosmic Heart, Cosmic Christ. I've just became a holy fire Reiki master, and they teach about the Christ consciousness through the holy fire, the Holy Spirit that comes through. And, not only with Jesus, it's with a lot of ascended masters that use this fire energy to kind of transmute and do their teaching and their work through this magical flame. And so, but Christ conscious is definitely present, and you can see it's, everything's coming from the heart chakra, the crystal, that's, working through that heart chakra to create that open portal for him to be open with the
And
water.
I love also how, the eyes are closed and we're just emanating from the heart. So letting the mind rest. And that's what we talked about, is so getting out of that masculine mental thinking and doing to really feeling, sensing.
And all the cards, when you look them up, all of the words, unconditional love, everything is repeating, unconditional love. So, just to sum up all of the cards that were pulled, that is the message for today. So this full moon in Leo, I think, is really trying to get our attention with, like you said, it's all about getting out of your heart, get out of your mind and into your heart, so you can learn the lesson, so you can be open to receive and to give, and to have that balance, that duality, receive the feminine energy that's out there, and have that balance, which, I'm striving for in my life with everything going on. And ironically, I had a dream about balance last night, and I'm like, it's just all right there in your face.
Screams loud, right?
Yes, yes. So, um, yeah, anything you want to add at this point?
Uh, no, I'll let you continue, and I will add a card at the end, just to kind of finish up, and I'll do the light code activation, work cards by Carl Gray. I want you really to talk about fire element because it's very interesting because we talk about unconditional love, opening the heart. Fire element is a little bit different, and it's how they intertwinement of all that. We'll continue the conversation and
Yeah.
what we're getting into.
Before I get off the rose topic, though, so I do have to say a lot of my information comes from my herbal teacher, Sage Papam. So any of that reference, I got to give him credit for that. But when he talks about the rose, I didn't know this. So the rose radiates the highest electromagnetic frequency among the plant kingdom. How amazing is that?
Wow.
So important to incorporate that however you can into your life when we're working with that heart chakra.
That makes
And
sense, that all the perfumes and aromatherapy or everything for youth, like glow, divine feminine, everything that it has, you have the rose oils, the rose cleanser, some kind of tincture. It always comes with that. And in my culture, where I'm coming from Eastern Europe, we actually make jam from rose petals. I don't know if you ever tried it, but that's something that we made, and it's a specific rose. There are two different types of roses that you can use to make the jam from. Not all of them,
right.
and it's quite interesting how that
Yeah,
kind of
it's
connects with this.
typically here it's a wild type of rose, so not something
Yes, it's a
pet
wild type.
or something. So just want to say it's a wild rose. But getting it into the energy of the fire element. So just want to mention a little bit about holy fire, because I feel like that is so incorporated in everything that we're talking about. The whole point of becoming a practitioner in this type of Reiki is that it ignites, you get ignitions that ignites this fire within you, right? And so it reveals the light within you so that you can live your life purpose. And through practicing and
Beautiful.
being a practitioner, you're able to spread that love and that energy to others to help them.
And this is amazing because you're calling others to really explore Reiki healing.
Mhm.
And yes, it's amazing for you if you want to pursue the practitioner path. That is up to you. But if you want to just give yourself, comfortable and learn and experience your own energy field, Reiki 1 and 2 are amazing for you for your personal healing. That brings the body and mind and connects you with the spirit. So it's good to mention that, because I invite everyone and I empower and support everybody to really explore
And
this energy.
everybody has this power within them. You don't have to be special. You don't have to have special, anything. It's everybody has this power within them to do it. And remember, Reiki is not directing energy, right? Reiki is unconditional love and energy from the universe sent through you, which is the vessel, and you're just sending the energy where it needs to go to do the work that needs to be done. And so,
Perfect.
in
Perfect set.
thank you.
Yeah,
Uh,
and then that's a great point, because I want to, I like this because we both, as doing different holistic practices and coming together, we need to connect body, mind, and spirit, but we also need to align the mind with the heart. And that is very important. How we bring, for the holistic practices and method that we use, we bring a practical attitude to our spirituality, and we got to be practical, because we've got to understand where is the origin, why we use it. We're not harvesting our personal energy, giving to somebody else. We are the vessel channeling the life force, the Reiki, the life force back through us to anybody, or back to yourself if that's what you want to do, to really balance the chakras. And that's what we're talking about, chakra system. And anybody who is curious, they can find out more, and we can put resources out there. Chakras, wheels from Sanskrit, vortex points, very important. And it's a great point to learn to connect your mental state with your emotional state and really open that heart.
And a different way to say that is that, working with Reiki helps, the practitioner is helping the client to reveal what's already there, the inner truth to come to light. So we are just the vessel to help that energy move through, and the person does the work themselves, but we are just the vessel to hold
Like,
it.
we are here today creating this safe, sacred space of this healing circle, holding the space. And as energy workers, light workers, there's so many names. We do Reiki, we practice Reiki, we do other holistic practices that we incorporate in our own toolkit. It's very important to understand that we don't have the answers. We are not here to take on your or give you anything. We're here to hold the space so you connect your mind with your heart, and the heart sees, feels, and shares with you the unseen, the blind spots, or something that you just forgot remembering, and empowering yourself.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. So important. Um, so I wanted to share. So we met these wonderful people. This is Marilyn and Tomas Twin Trees, an elemental birth imprint book that they wrote, and their company is Amuse. And so I wanted to just read. This book has all the information about the different elements, but Marilyn and Tomas write about, the breath. It's interesting. They talk about how each element has a different breath work. So for fire, they say to open the mouth, breathe in through the mouth and out through the nose. And
Ooh.
that will kind of work with that fire element. So kind of in through the mouth, out through the nose. So what they talk about is working with the gifts of fire. You'll find that, of course, if you think of the energy of fire, you find speed, transformation, absolute unlimited life force, instincts, passion, creativity, which is a big one that I found is repeating too in the cards today. And then the bigger pictures, you can find mentorship, and then also a big one with fire is change, right? Because fire is not static. It's like all elements, they move, right? They're not static and they always change. When we're thinking about the fire element in the body, we know it as the life force that creates it's infinite creativity and constant evolution. So I think that's a beautiful way to put it. And so when you're working with fire energy that may be stuck in the body, you're looking at apathy, coldness, joylessness, no initiative, no passion or inspiration, inability to support dreams, visions, and others, and inability to lead even when needed, denial about priorities, inability to recognize that it is all life and death. So I wanted to just share that with you today because I think they're very connected with not only crystals, but just the earth energy in general. And they're being guided by, divine source and higher intelligence. So,
I
um,
love the breath work, and that's important. You know, you can channel the fire element by just doing the breath work. And again, practical attitude towards spirituality. Remember, you cannot attain as you're in awakened state asking questions. You feel like you're empty. You're earning to remember. You feel that you came out of the coma. You only way can attain and understand yourself, your true self, is by practicing and exploring different spiritual practices. And it's all about consistency and doing the work. And I think that's very important to mention because we tend to, get holy almighty and talk about it, but we actually not doing, we're not walking or talking the walk. And that's very important to do it, because when we are, it's the same thing as learning a skill. We are building that connection. So the flower, the rose, is blossoming because to nurture a rose, you gotta put it in the sun. It has its blossoming season. You gotta water, give it nutrition. There's specific ways you gotta cut a rose because otherwise it's very fragile. It dies very fast if the
and
soil is not.
it has thorns, right? So we've got to. The lessons too that the rose can teach us is the inner work that we may have, wounds or scars in our heart. So it's also reflecting that that energy that you need to work through, that you can transmute and transmute the wounds from the past, right?
Right. And
So
I'm glad that you mentioned the word, fire. Fire, we talk about purification through fire. Purification from fire element is so different than purification through water. So this is where the processes, there's so many ways that you can incorporate in your spiritual practice to understand how you can transmute. And transmute is a very interesting concept in spirituality. Transmute, you hear it thrown out there, but it's actually a process. It's a process of burning or cleaning. It's cleaning. And that's simple it is. That's what transmutation is cleaning. It's using specific divination tools like sprays, crystals. I have selenite tower here, clearing. Any other breath work, meditation, attunement, sound healing, Reiki. What would you do? So that's what transmutation is. Transmutation is clearing off a blockage of a mass, whatever that mass is. It may be visible or invisible. Most of the time it's invisible, that is stuck in where? In our auric field, which is 6 feet around us, right? That's our aura. That's our energetic field, because we are in energy
mhm.
with physical form. So how we transmute, and there are all these different techniques. So whatever technique resonates with you, that's the one you should start transmuting, clearing your own aura field. That starts with your mind. Do you have repeated thought patterns? Are you stuck in specific life cycles? Bad relationships, bad relationship with your mother, bad relationship with your father, bad relationship with your parents, bad relationship with your kids. No conflict. Conflict means there's a wound, there's something that needs to be clear to create harmony. So the only reason that you clear and completed the transmutation, you feel harmony within your heart space. Your heart space is not closed, it's not tight, it's open like a flower. I think you clean up all those, like rose. And I'm glad that you mentioned rose. And this is kind of completely goes to divine feminine. I will kind of encourage everybody to be curious into, spiritual mystery schools. we talk about Rosicrucians, which are all about red rose, pink rose. So they're different depictions. Rosicrucians start with the red rose, which is Mary Magdalene, all of the Christ consciousness coming in a heart space with the rose in the heart space. So you'll see those depictions throughout the Christianity, and not only as part of the last century. And we had that at the start of 19th century, continuing 20th century. So a lot of mysteries about that space that has you become enlightened, connect with your spirit, remembering, feeling the energy, frequency, vibration, learning how to transmute by using the heart portal. And I think that's very important. It's a symbolism that continue, and is present today, and people relate to it. And the same time, it really connects with the divine feminine, and it's part of kind of one of the streams of what Christ consciousness bring into it. Brought us the ascended master of divine feminine, and how we are speaking the truth of love, unity, and unconditional love. So I think our biggest power is unconditional love, and it is, as we are in divine feminine, empowered and reclaiming it daily. And
While
I'm glad
you're talking about divine feminine, I just want to say one last thing about
yeah.
another connection with Rose. So Rose is also connected with Venus, the planet Venus, right?
Yes.
What is Venus? Venus represents, again, emotional heart, relationships, divine feminine. And you also have to think about, what is in the zodiac, you have the opposite signs. So when you look at Venus, Mars is usually kind of the opposite of Venus. And so Mars is all about excess. And so it helps to balance that excess within us. So I think it's really, we just have all of these overlapping, symbolism that you can look at all these different things, and but they all align. But
Yeah,
I think
that we're kind of, all talking about the same universal spiritual laws. And we got to understand the concepts. We not just reading it and talking about it. We kind of understand the roots of it, what it brings to us, what gift. Like we talk about transmutation concept, it is clearing, but it's also transmutation is healing. So another word for healing is transmutation. In one way or the other one, it just has a different layer to it. For somebody who is practicing a holistic method like us, Reiki, I do shamanic practice using different divination tools. Transmutation means a lot of other things. We do transmutation for ourselves, for our inner guidance, for our evolution, enlightenment, for our ascension, and a deepening of our spiritual gifts. But also is we are vessels to transmute energy around us. For people that will come around us, with clients that come to us, talking about different things that they are dealing with and trying to clear, right? Which we know it's transmuting for us. So how those are very different processes. So what we're talking right now, we are encouraging, supporting you, sharing with you as we are safe in this sacred space to be safe and be seen, to tell you that you always can practice a transmutation for yourself. And Tracy mentioned the Christ consciousness and what that represents as a new energy, the flames. There's several different colors of flames, how you can connect with Rose and connect with that inner power, how you can be open to unconditional love, which is the biggest concept, that was the biggest upgrade to the earth that happened with Christ consciousness, was the unconditional love.
Yeah.
We forget daily.
Oh yeah. But I think one of the most important things that we are trying to do is we're trying to give people the how. How do you do this work with yourself, right? We can
Practical
talk
attitude, yes.
about we could talk about energy work, but how do you actually do it when you're by yourself and you're alone with yourself? How do you do the work? And it can be frustrating, it can be confusing on where to go. How do I start? And we want to give you the tools to say there's simple techniques that you can do, whether it's the things that we talked about today, but start with something that you are comfortable with, that you feel like can help you make that transition, make that change, help you to heal, especially with that healing space, the heart space today.
Right. And we talk about, the heart space and unconditional love is how we unconditionally love ourselves, because we got to start there first. When you said when we are, and not only starting is for people that completely just kind of got locked in and went in a rabbit hole in some kind of pattern that they're still learning, how you getting out of it to restart. And you always can restart. It doesn't mean as you feel drowning and life takes over, the heart space is all about relationships, but relationship with yourself. So anytime, remember, any relationship conflicts that you have around you, it's reflection of your relationship with yourself. And I think that's very important, how you honor your thorns.
Mm-hmm.
They're all your sides. We are so reprogrammed and educated to be perfect, especially as women, as we are brought in, birthed in this earth. And that's part of our school, family, values, and everything else, how we behave and all those things. And how we are just so in that mental space of perfectness, but we don't connect with that unconditional love, or we lose it throughout our lifetime as we just become adults. And that's unfortunate. And that unconditional love is that giving and receiving, the receptivity towards somebody else's need, the empathy, the opening space.
And I think, being in, having unconditional love means being in the present moment, right? You're here now. You're not in the past. You're not in the future. You're here now. You're experiencing this moment right now, right here. And I mean, what else is there than that?
And how you, and this is a great, because being a now is unconditional, how you can attach to the past by you are running the same program or cycle of a wound that is attached from the past, but you being in the present because you just let the mind, the mental state take control over. Then you are attached to the future, which is the anxiety of the unknown. What is to happen? What's happened? What's the outcome? I wanted this, the ego wants this, which is also the mental. So we have two mental realities, and the heart is in the middle, just sitting there. It's like, hey, give me some attention. I'm here. I'm wide and open. So connect with me. And I think like when you connect with it, then you really relax with that breath, relaxing. Just really taking deep breaths, whatever technique it is, you completely shift from that mental state of past or future, and you become into the present. So you are open for unconditional love, receptivity with each other to receive and give at the same time. And you become present. So the present and the power is in the now. That's when you connect with yourself. You are empowered to manifest and create everything in that present moment. And I think that is very important. And I would love for you to share, and I'll share one too. When you catch yourself, because we all are, we're human beings having a 3D experience. When you catch yourself, what is the best personal tip technique that you think that it works for you lately?
Oh gosh. You go first. Let me think.
That's fine. So to me, when I catch myself, I started because doing Reiki.
I think Katya got frozen in time.
love this.
Hey,
Okay.
there you are.
Yeah, I think I got lost. I'm just trying to figure out what happened, but it is what it is. Uh, yay! Moment of break. Let me take a sip of water since I love streaming.
You were just getting into your technique and
Yes, and it was just like completely. I'm like, is it because of the Wi-Fi just went blank? And I'm like trying to figure out. Okay, so we're talking about how to stay in the presence when you're catching yourself, and the more you learn what works for you and how you can catch yourself, the better it is. So for me personally, like I said, it's more to get myself back in the present in case I'm attached to the past or to the future. I feel a very physical constriction in my chest. That's how it feels. I feel very heavy. And I also, the next thing that it's another sign or tip, hey, wait, come back, is that I start breathing only through my chest.
mm,
So I completely don't, I do a half breath. So when I know that I do a half breath, so I only breathe through my chest, that means that I'm in my mental, that means I'm in some kind of form of anxiety, something is going on, and I need to get out of that mental state. So when I catch myself that I'm completely half breath, I'm like, okay, something is wrong. That's a cue, red flag, red flag, get
mm-hmm.
out of it. So not only you are in it, you experience it, you notice, you know the red flag that it is for you. And then you start, okay, then I need to breathe. So what I do, I start putting my hands, so I, simple thing, right hand on your chest,
Mm-hmm.
left hand on your belly button, and just start breathing through the belly. Couple breaths immediately.
Yeah,
I mean, it's less than 30 seconds.
I could
That's how
definitely
simple it
identify
is.
with that. Yeah, just yeah, not breathing and have to remind myself to breathe. Yeah, definitely.
And simple as that. And I've noticed so many clients, potential clients, just people like kind of we're talking, we're doing healing. We started the conversation this way, and it is a process, but how shifting that from whatever mental state, thought, worry, anger, frustration, whatever that low vibration that they were into, to get in their heart space of gratitude. Because what is unconditional love? Is being grateful of
Mm-hmm.
everything that you have now. And I think we need more, and feel that we need more of gratitude around us. Like, what is something that you can honor in this moment for yourself first, then for others? Because we have tendency to honor everybody else, but not honor ourselves. And I think that creates another imbalance, right? Talking about that giving and receiving. And very important. So if you back live, welcome. I just shared the tip of how to get out of the rabbit hole, past and future, be in the present moment. So you can just re-listen to that. Do you have any tip or what works for you? I mean, there's so many, but this one just came to mind to me right now because we talked
Yeah.
about fire and breath. I think that kind of goes.
So I think the next step after me is once I start breathing again is I have to go outside. It's usually very constricting to be inside in, four walls, and I have to go outside, be in nature. That is definitely step number two for me. So being, especially if I can be barefoot and be near lots of trees, if I can go in the woods, if it's, nearby, even if it's sitting on a rock or sitting in the grass, it's just a natural soothing technique, just being out in nature.
Right.
So
In our retreats and what we talk about a lot of grounding techniques, and grounding techniques brings you in the present moment, connects you with your heart space. And one of them is, connecting with nature, walking just in nature, being barefooted, to the ground and earth. What is that? Like, how is that? What can you do in your daily life that can make that shift? Sometimes it's the breath. Sometimes just walking out of the room and changing the environment can be so impactful for you to smooth and shift your state of being. And
the
and
other
we
day, I just thought of this. The other day, it was so cold here in North Carolina, and I was like, man, I really just want to go outside and get some of that grounding energy. But I said, you know what? I'm going to find the sun and just stick my face in the sun just for those few minutes and get those rays of light. So it's healing. It's, you know, that light that penetrates into your third eye, into your mind space, and it really can make a difference. So however that looks for you, you can always find it.
Yeah, there, like I said, there's so many techniques, but they're just simple things that you can do. I love Mel Robbins. You know, she's amazing in her podcast. You know, she talks about I love, she has yellow, so talking about the sun, but she has the simple technique of counting from five. So when you find yourself in that worry, anger, whatever you are, that mental state, you count backwards from five, five, four, three, two, one, you reset yourself. I mean, they're just simple, and that is not, you know, anything super spiritual or something that you gotta be to get yourself out of it. But the most important thing that I want our listeners to realize, that it's the self-awareness, realizing which are your red flags. So you creating that connection with yourself, with your heart space, it's what is important, because most of us, we do not, we, what we do, we ignore the red flags, we ignore them. And we tend to sit and be obsessed and connected with our red flags. And we think that that is our way of living. That's who we are. And that's not who we are. That is just a red flag of us being out of balance as we getting in different things, you know, relationships. Since we talk about the heart space, that is more important. But what is the relationship with myself? How I can honor myself? How I unconditionally love myself today? Asking yourself those questions, you can already recognize the red flags of what you are not doing towards that. And I think that is important, because we do have that aspect of duality as human beings. You know, we only will see the light if we have darkness. There's no other way. And we can operate in that humane uh, you know, experiment of 3D illusions, whatever that is, but we have the duality, so we can see it. We can see it clearly if we step back, take a deep breath, and see the big picture, and not fall into the extremes. And I think something that, you know, it takes some practice. It takes a lot of practice. It took me a lot of practice. It still does. Some days are better than others, but recognizing the red flags, I think it's just, it will change your life. It
Hmm.
will change your life just to be there. The more you do and you catch yourself faster, that means you're going towards mastery of yourself. And mastery of yourself opens up this beautiful rose um, space with your heart. And I'll segue here. I love that what you said, because you know, fire element is just, in my mind, fire element is very masculine too, but it's also the doing part of it. But I forget the aspect of passion, because at the same time we have the passion, and passion is all is that unconditional love, but passion has that like deep desire, which that's where divine feminine comes from. Is that co-creation? It's that fire moving and, you know, purifying but producing something else. You know, what is coming is the alchemy of it. So
Hmm.
as we do that, and you know, you brought your oracle cards. For some reason, I will pull the, here. This is where I am. The Gaia activation, and we're talking about the connection with Earth. And this is from Light. So learning experiences, wisdom, transition, Earth intelligence. We tap into Earth intelligence because Earth has intelligence, and as we tap into it, we connect with that intelligence. So we're no longer in that mental space of illusions. And I think that's very important to bring that unconditional love, because Earth is all about unconditional love, being into known cycles of birth, rebirth, death, and everything.
You mean like that Earth healing card that I?
That's right. And this one just jumped out. So I was like, okay, I'll just keep it. And I love, you know, we have the circle. So we created the circle. We have the rainbow,
Uh
all
huh.
the rays, all the colors, which is very important because chakras have colors. I love that my camera moves. And we have the path. So are you connecting with the earth intelligence? Are you walking the path? You know, are you moving beyond the clouds of your mental state to really see clearly? That's the question, and how that can motivate you to motivate you and support you to create a daily practice. And I think this is a great segue to divine feminine and what that passion, the creativity, the self-expression is about, and how we women harvesting and nurturing that so much.
Yeah. I do want to share the other three cards that I pulled because I feel like there might be an important message for somebody that's listening.
Yeah,
And
go ahead.
the three
And it's
cards,
the divine feminine. I think so.
yeah, yeah. And, it's so aligned with finding your purpose, which we are all about, helping people to help heal so that they can live their life purpose. But one of the first cards was don't dim to fit in, right? You don't want to dim your light to fit in with others and be the same. You want to live your authentic self, be your authentic self. And through being your authentic self is how you heal and how you transmute and how you become and be the light and live your true purpose. The other part is trust your path. So trust is such a big word right now that keeps appearing, and this just aligns with that card, right? So we've got the path to, again, the temple. So the person is walking through the desert, but there's water there too. And trusting that your path is there, and trusting in the universe that what you're doing is the right thing, and that you're not following somebody else's path, you're not dimming your light. But you also have your soul family to call on. So you have support, you have your tribe, there's people there to support your calling. And so when you have that support, you can pretty much do anything. You're not doing it alone. You have your soul sisters and your family and whoever else that supports you, to move forward with your life and live your life purpose. So I hope there was something in there for somebody that's listening today, and
Yeah,
to live.
you're called to share it. I'm sure it is. And it resonates so deeply because, it is a temple.
Mhm.
Your body is your temple. And I think that's exactly, what you shared. And, your body is your temple, how you connect with your root source, your divinity, with your divine feminine. And what is divine feminine? I mean, it appears in all different cultures, like I said. It's there. You can study whatever culture you're in, kind of initiated in, curious about, practicing. It really doesn't matter. It still has the same concept. It's the open heart. It's the unconditional love, and it's also the expression, the creation of the world. And as women, we embody that divine feminine. And what divine feminine is, we are taught, and through history, our divine feminine was just not. It was not. There are two different things that happen. We were more objects of adorations as muses. So you have that aspect. We're put on the pedestal of being just the object of the muse, or we are just the producer. So we always had this extreme of what divine feminine is. So sometimes you think, like, or you are the muse, the pedestal, or you're the producer. Producer, I'm talking about you just being the vessel of, you know, bringing kids. And that's the co-creation part of that mechanism, the biology of it. And it's always that completely opposite roles that we play. And what divine feminine is having all in together, the co-creation, the muse, the all aspects of divine feminine is that passion within ourselves, passion that moves the wheel of ourselves and empowers you talk about power, support, the support that we offer to our families, the support we offer with, fellow that we connect, what that divine feminine is. And possibly your divine feminine is completely different for you. And that is your way of seeing the divine feminine you resonate with, because it's part of your soul blueprint, right?
And you just made me think of the book that I'm in the middle of right now, The Golden Future, right? And what does she talk about? We're coming out of this masculine,
Oh, wait, wait, wait.
so good. We're coming out of this masculine era into the feminine era. And so she believes, what's her first name? I know it's Cooper. What's her first name?
Diana.
Diana Cooper. she, she's all about Atlantis, and this was kind of uh, something that was brought on by the people of Atlantis, and it was determined during that time how the next, 20,000 or so years are going to be. And so it was male ruled, male dominant, and we all know how that is going. So it is now
Right.
time for feminine energy to come in and balance out that male dominant energy. And so I think we are going to see that. It definitely feels like, this feminine energy is more balancing. And so, yeah.
And you know how that feminine energy and divine feminine is actually showing up in this 3D. Is it just another masculine energy this in disguise? How we operate. So we gotta not that we gotta remove ourselves, we gotta understand and recognize where is the divine masculine, how is the masculine energy help us so much as women for all our doing, for all using it for so many centuries, us using that masculine energy, we became where we are today. You know, women are leaders in different industries. Women are co-creators. Women are, mothers and nurturing, and women are present in every area of what is going on in our life. And they're not only the biological producers, and they're not only the muse. They're all, and I think all aspects are. It's so amazing, and how we can elevate that more to realize that if we actually step into the divine feminine and recognizing that we can use the masculine for different ways, but not embodying the divine feminine of that unconditional love,
Right, right.
giving.
And I think right now in our culture in the society, I think, we have a society that is trying to put down the masculinity, and it's not about good or bad, you know,
Yes.
femininity is good and masculinity is bad.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah. That's not what we're talking about. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I just think that there's an imbalance even with the thought of the duality of masculine and feminine. And it's all about trying to find that balance and what is going to work in a global type of atmosphere and system. So,
Yeah, and we, through our thoughts, the way we feel, the way we connect with our heart space, the way we work on ourselves, practicing a spiritual attitude towards spirituality, connecting with divine source, whatever we do, we molding and elevating these two energies of, divine masculine and divine feminine. And what we're doing right now, we're in such an amazing time of 2024. it's a it's a year of, according to Cryan, and I love that's kind of who I've been listening to, through his channelings. He said it's the year of caring. Where's the caring coming from? It's coming from the divine feminine, because we embody the nurturing, the nourishment, the way we hug, the way we give love to our children, the way we give love to our partners. It's just part of, we lead with that, and the more we lead with that love and openness, it just creates this harmony, and it balances everything out, and other people are open. The conflict doesn't no longer has its place, because there's no conflict, and if it is, it's a completely different aspect of the conflict. It's a different layer of the conflict, and I think that's where we're going to, and it's exciting times. I think it's exciting for us women to understand what divine feminine is for us personally, how we can connect with it, what practices we can do to connect with our divine feminine. Being more vulnerable. For me, vulnerability, because of my empowered masculine energy, I always thought being vulnerable means being weak. So I'm a weak woman if I'm vulnerable. And then I was listening to different ideologists, and it was so interesting. I think it was Swan. I forgot her name. She was talking about women were so persecuted throughout the history. All the abuses that we just endured. We're always into this unsafe space, so we don't know how to harvest the love and being vulnerable, because we are taught not to be weak, because we got to protect ourselves all the time, 24/7. We're in this like survival mode, and how we kind of elevate from the survival mode to thriving mode, and realizing that being vulnerable is our superpower, because that's when we open our heart, when conditionally love, and we connect with the other aspect with somebody else who is trying or working towards healing. And that is very powerful. That is creating those awesome strings that connects us at a very different level. And that was my lesson. So for me, it was okay. Vulnerable is not bad. How I can bring that vulnerability to my current life, how I can do it. And the only way I can do it is when I really feel that my heart space is open, and I do speak and feel and desire to create that around me in the present moment. And I think this is one of the moments when it's, bringing the voice, the speaking of your truth, and not, you know, like you said, the shadow of divine feminine, the people pleasing, the being the perfect, the playing the role. There are just so many other aspects, shadow aspects of divine feminine. How we understand that we have them, I do. That's okay. I recognize them when I'm in those aspects, and when I'm trying to shift them, transmute them, and heal them is by recognizing and working towards some of the aspects not to be part of my reality, and they're not. And I think that's what, the more we heal those aspects, the more we embody the divine feminine. And that's where it is for me, that unconditional love.
Beautiful. That's beautifully put.
Thank you. And caring, yeah, caring, divine feminine. So I want to hear more about divine feminine. I think that we'll have something else, and I'll just put out there my bucket list for this year. This year, next year, we'll see what happens. To get the Southern Friends talk about Christ consciousness, to get the Southern Friends to the Qatar region, and really get to, Mary Magdalene's grave.
Mhm.
And really connect with that sacred space of her, you know, spiritual teachings, and also her blueprint of light codes that she brought on earth as an ascended master. And that is the pure divine feminine and power of speaking your truth and walking the truth that you embody. And I think that is what the divine feminine is, through love, because that is our language. That is our language. And that unconditional love of caring, nurturing, and giving and receiving,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the receptivity
Yep.
of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Finding
Yeah.
that balance. Well, we did a lot today.
We did with a little bit of interruption, but that's the beauty of streaming. The more I do it, the more I feel comfortable. But I think it's still good. So, just to close this, we're closing the healing circle. Different concepts, information that you were exposed. If you know about it, please share your comments. How you see that, how is it for you, what's the experience, what are your red flags, how you shift, you transmute and heal your red flags. Do you want to hear more about it? What healing modalities you use? List goes on and on, so I'll add those in the description. Myself, Katya, spiritual name, or star healer, doing Reiki, shamanic practice, crystal works, clairvoyant. So that is my thing, seeing. And Tracy, you can talk about yourself. I'll let you speak, and we'll close the circle.
Okay. Yeah. So doing energy work. I'm a licensed registered dietitian, so that's kind of my trade. But I've gotten more into herbalism, this holy fire Reiki, which I am very passionate about, sound healing, crystal healing, just all different modes of energy healing, gardener, um, all kinds of, again, energy healing through herbal medicine and our food. And
Yeah,
so,
so
yeah,
where people can find, we'll add this in the description, but go ahead
sure.
and share
So,
it.
so the website is www.rootsourcewellness.com, and you can find lots of information there. And if you would like to make an appointment with me online. So, and also information about retreats and events that Katya and I do together. We'll be at Shakori in North Carolina, which is a fabulous event. I hope you'll be
In
there.
May.
Reiki there, and along with our dear friend Rebecca, who's got lots to share. So, so yeah, we'll be out and about in North Carolina.
Yeah, and soon we'll have a schedule of what we are offering, and we are really called to do a lot of teaching 2024 by supporting, empowering, and bringing that practical attitude to our spirituality. We're not here to convince you of anything. We're not trying to convert you into anything. We're not here to explain you what religion is, or if you believe in God, that is source. So that is your practice, and we're very happy. We are talking about Christ consciousness on a different level. So you're entitled to feel, think, and be free and choose what is right for you. That is the connection with the root source, and we all about empowerment and support. And the more we're empowered, we know ourselves, the more we walk this earth authentically. And I think that authenticity is exactly what we are here about. You can find me on Body Strong Vibes, fitness coach, in addition to everything else, whole body, mind, and spirit. And if we do not connect the triangle of body, mind, and spirit, we are not connected within ourselves, and we are disjointed. And when we are, we operate from the mental state of the past experiences and obsessed about future outcomes. So we are just bouncing back, and we're never in the present. So I invite you in 2024 to find the now, the present, how you bring yourself back into the present. Find that practice that works for you. How I bring myself in the now, and see what happens with you. I'm curious to find out, like, the revelations, like what happens when you're in the present. And I think that's the challenge. I think that is an awesome challenge. How in 2024 you can bring yourself and recognize how you can operate from this state of now being. So I'm challenging you, whoever you are, because the more you practice, the more your reality changes. And I think
Truth.
that's it. Yeah, and I'll use the fire element since I have a fire spray. I'll add that, and
Yeah, I got
I
a
guess we'll.
fire
You have
ready.
the fire there already, and I guess we'll just close the sacred circle, healing circle, with some Reiki and just a couple words for you. But I feel like Tracy needs to leave a couple words, so I'll put my Reiki hands. You put your Reiki hands, and I'll let you close this. I'm challenging you right now, so you can close it for me, so we can make the circle as powerful as we can with everybody who connected with us today, who is to listen to this when they come attached to it. And yeah.
So today, remembered in this full moon in Leo, to be gentle with yourself, to surrender to the divine, the pink rose unfolding in your heart. Receive the rose light, the unconditional love, the love that is protecting, grounding, intervention, and grace, that you are worthy enough in this life to live the life that you can dream. And being present in this moment will bring you peace and unconditional love. That is my words for you today.
And so it is. And so it is. I love a mantra that I will add it here at the end. I am presence, I am love, love is me. That has been a mantra that's been in on my mirror for quite a lot of times. And I'll say it again. I am presence, I am love, love is me. I am presence, I am love, love is me. And I'll let you go with that. Thank you so much, Tracy, for joining me for this healing circle for Leo full moon, and to many more to come in 2024.
Yes, thank you as well.
Thank you. Hey.